Hello and welcome. In this video we would be looking at three main components. The first one is what are the main parts of a C++ program. Then we would look at why formatting is important. And finally we would be looking at an example bug. So for the parts of a C++ program, generally it is composed of three parts. The first one are your headers, then you have the main function, and finally you need to return from that function. Okay, so these are basically the three parts. Now let's take a look at a C++ program. So look here. Okay, let me comment these out. So this is my C++ program. So these includes, as we had talked earlier in previous video, they are basically your headers. They are being used for the manipulation. This is my main function. So this is a return value from the function what you are returning. It is of integer type. And we have the main function. It starts with a curly brace and it ends with a curly brace. Okay. Then we are simply printing std hello world out from here. This is the only thing that we are doing here, and then we are returning. Since C++ is a case sensitive language, so you really need to look at how you are entering the data or the commands there. Briefly we will be looking at that. So basically main is taking no input, but it is return 0, which is an integer here. Now let's run the program and see what happens. So hello world is printed, that's good. So that basically completes the first part of this video. Now let's take a look why formatting is important. So I'm considering three data types here. The first one is the float. That means we could put decimal values like 4.5 or something like that there. Then we have an integer. Here integer or whole numbers would be there, and then we have the character, and we are giving the same input to all of them. And now let's see what happens if we try to display these values without formatting. So if you look here, these are the values and we literally don't know which one of them is integer. So we need to add a few things so that we could see which one of them is integer. So for that, look here, I'm just printing same as I had printed before, but I have added float a is equal to, then \t, this is basically a tab. Then integer b, that would be printing the integer value of b. Then for the character c, we are again printing the c, and then \n, that basically is the command to go to the next line. So now let's see what happens here. So float a equal to 1, integer b equal to 1, character c equal to 1, and then we have gone to the next line. Okay, so now let's take a look at a bug. So look, I'm taking a float value there for the variable which is x. So when we would be entering value here, so first of all we are asking the user to give the value of x. Value would be there, then I have assigned that value to an integer. So what we should be expecting here is the whole number out of that float. But if you are thinking that this number would again be a float value or carrying a decimal or the fractional part, then this could be a bug inside your program. So this is a very simplified example, but it demonstrates that okay, bugs are logical and they are very difficult, generally very difficult to remove in lengthy programs. So now let's take a look here. So we enter a value, for example 4.52, and look here, the integer value of the 4.2 float x is 4, so you would be getting 4 instead of 4.2. So that's all for this video. Thank you. Bye.